Mastering Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing by Tim Parkman, published by the Financial Times.
Good morning, crime fighters. As an AML, anti-money laundering person, I'm often asked, what's the difference between source of wealth and source of funds? And why do my compliance people get so upset about it when they realise I can't tell the difference? So that's the subject of today's video. Source of wealth versus source of funds, and why it matters. First, back to basics. Money laundering is the process of making criminal money, criminal wealth, look as if it has been legitimately earned. So how that money, those assets, that wealth came into existence is actually central to the whole exercise of determining whether money laundering might be happening on an account. Rob someone and steal their money equals criminal origin. Sell your legitimate business and make $1 million equals non-criminal origin. At the same time, criminal or non-criminal isn't the only kind of source that comes into play, because there is also the question of how those funds arrived into your customer's account in the first place. Who sent them? Where from? Which bank? Which country? And thus is born the battle of the sources. Thus is born the battle of the sources. Source of wealth versus source of funds. So let's make a simple analogy to establish the difference. This is Joe. He's a kid, so he's skint, broke. He's seeing his friends at the weekend, so he calls his dad, who's away contract working in the US, and asks for some money. But his dad is one of those scary, I'm not just going to send you money, you've got to earn it, dads, who tells him if he washes his car, then he'll send him 15 quid before the weekend. Reluctantly, Joe tears himself away from his phone for half an hour and washes the car. And the next day, true to his word, his dad sends him the £15, no doubt congratulating himself on a solid display of tough love parenting. Now, in this scenario, the £15 represents Joe's net worth. His dad's account at his dad's bank in the US is the source of funds. That's to say, the point on planet Earth from where they came. And it's washing the car which is Joe's source of wealth. That is to say, it is the economic activity which has generated a person's net worth. Note that if Joe's dad had been less uptight about discipline and responsibility and had just sent Joe the money because, I don't know, he was a weak parent seeking the approval of a child, then he would have been both the source of funds and the source of Joe's wealth. And the question then would be, what is his source of wealth? Who is he contracting for? Microsoft or the mafia? Now, if we apply a business context to this, and Joe isn't a kid, he's a businessman. And his net worth isn't £15, it's £15 million. And Joe's dad isn't Joe's dad, he's the businessman's customer. And the source of wealth isn't washing the car, it's advisory and consulting services. Then we are going to want to be pretty clear that these services are genuine, right? And that the customer is genuine, and that this businessman isn't just issuing invoices for non-existent services so that he can take money from criminal groups and launder it for them, having persuaded you that his source of wealth is consultancy. In reality, of course, business income is just one potential legitimate source of wealth. Others include salary from employment, sale of an asset, inheritance from grandma, winnings from gambling, tax rebates when they happen.
Yeah, right.
Now, to close out with, back to your compliance people. It's true, compliance officers do tend to have hissy fits over this issue, but in my experience they do it for a reason. Like me, they've all seen countless new client onboarding forms in which the answer to the question, what is the client's source of wealth, has been completed as savings. Because of course, as should be apparent to you now, savings are the result of wealth, not the source of it. So if you want to avoid this, don't ever put savings down as someone's source of wealth. So that's source of wealth versus source of funds. Thanks for watching.